My name is Chris, and I would like to talk about music producer Tim Mosley, also known as Timberland. Tim grew up in Virginia. He was born with less than the average Joe. He had raggedy sneakers and holey shirts, but his parents did make it their priority to provide Tim with whatever music equipment necessary for him to better his craft. And whether that meant not paying a bill or two that month, it wasn't an issue. Tim was very shy in school. As far as school goes, he only affiliated with those who associated with music. Tim had a little group with his friends called SBI, Surrounded by Idiots. The group included Pharrell Williams, and Pharrell could vouch that Tim was a very shy kid. He communicated a lot through music. He was a disc jockey back when DJing was the focal point of hip-hop. He used to do parties, and he was really good at what he did. He used to make Timmy Tim mixtapes and sell them to his friends at school, and everybody wanted the new Timmy Tim mixtape. And that's how he started making a name for himself. To keep up his image, he needed nice clothes and a decent pair of shoes. So he got a part-time job washing dishes at the local Red Lobster. One day, a fellow co-worker trying to show off whips out a handgun. The gun goes off and accidentally hits Tim in the neck. He thought that was it. Luckily, he survived, and to this day, the bullet is lodged under his armpit. He says it took 2 years for him to feel sensation in his right arm again, but through a lot of hard work and perseverance, he made it through. And that's around the time in 1992 he met recording engineer Devontae Swing, and Devontae brought him over to Jersey to make beats for his Swing Mob Collective, which at the time was just a few producers and artists up and coming, working out of the basement of his New Jersey studio. Tim started seeing a bit of the big bucks when Swing Mob started producing hits for Joe to See and Genuine and Playa. But that only lasted a few years. Tim came back home and started producing on his own. It wasn't long before Tim got a call from Atlantic Records to come work with Aaliyah. And shortly after that, when the magic started happening, he transformed the sound of R&B and pop at that time. And that same year, he teamed up with Missy Elliott to work on her debut album. And that was great to showcase his talent. And his skills were in high demand after that. In 2001, Tim was in the process of making Missy's 4th album and producing still tracks for Aaliyah. By 2002, Tim reigned supreme in the music world and was presented with a new young talent, Justin Timberlake, who was working on his first debut solo album. The two immediately got along and started making hits together. Shortly after, though, Tim started hitting a downward spiral. His newly formed Beat Club Records was dropped by Interscope. He wasn't coming out with #1 hit singles as he was so readily used to. People started doubting him. Naturally, he started doubting himself. So he fell into a really deep depression and ended up eating and sleeping all day long. At one point, he weighed almost 400 pounds. And that's when reality smacked him in the face. And he got on the health tip. Lost a lot of weight, got his mojo back, ended up back in the studio with a great boost of confidence, and that's when he got hit with the Nelly Furtado project. Under his new label, Mosley Music Group, he produced her 3rd album, and it was a great success. After the Nelly Furtado project, Justin Timberlake calls Tim, and they get back together, creating hit after hit again, from Sexy Back to What Goes Around Comes Around. And Madonna got a hold of that, and she wanted that same sound, and they got to work with her, and that was a great experience in itself. Most recently, Tim got to touch Jay-Z's Magna Carta, which is his latest album, and that came out amazing. He's married now, has a family, and he's in the process of balancing those two out, the music career and family life. I believe he's out there looking for that new sound to send shockwaves through the music world once again, Timberland style. And that's where I leave you. Thank you very much.